Good up, Steve. Alright, let's take a look.
Ready for battle. Ready for battle.
I assume you are Inferno.
How would you know?
Trust me, I know.
5, 4, 3,
Alright, let's see what you do.
1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
So, I've got a little strat that opens up Nambani. You've probably seen it. You're kind of doing it. Okay. So I'm just gonna... I like to stand here. And there's two places you can shoot. Let's bring my mouse up here. One, you can shoot at this trajectory. Or you can shoot at this trajectory. Now you might know where this is going already. So the first trajectory brings your grenades right over here. And a lot of times, when players hold Nambani, they will hold right here. Often a support player. They'll hold here, or they will hold back here. The second trajectory or the second angle that I showed you brings the grenades right here. And it is a phenomenal way to open up Nambani, because a lot of players will play top left and they will be vulnerable to that. So Ana, she's sitting right here. I say you go over here to this van, like right in here where you were. You spam that second angle. Spam the second angle, and it'll force the Ana to move. If the Ana's paying attention, she'll dodge. She'll either go back further in here, or she'll go up to here. But it's great because even if you don't hit the Ana, well, now Ana's cowering back in here because your nades are coming in, not healing your team. Or she's over here, way more susceptible to the Winston that will see her when, you know, Winston walks forward some more. But yeah, that's a really good opener for Nambani. The other strat, it doesn't always work, because a lot of people also do hold right here. And it's harder to bounce your, like, you can still bounce your nades off this here, but it's harder to bounce them where you want them to go, because this wall is curved and it's just unreliable. It doesn't, it's hard. So if they're holding here, it's a lot harder to do that opener. But if your team starts like pressuring like up here some, it will cause the people standing here to move back that way. So also there is this angle as well. If they're holding top left, what you can do is you can stand around here and you can shoot up here. Bounce the nades off. Yeah, this is also a good spot, because you can choose to bounce it off the wall here or just shoot straight up there, which is what you're doing. And that can cover top left a bit. So that's pretty good. You're doing the other opener. Nice. I was about to say, follow your Winston up there. That was good. Nice. You might not have meant to do it, but after you go up there, as soon as your Winston drops, you need to drop back with where your Winston dropped to. It's not necessarily a bad thing going in here, but if that D.Va was paying better attention, you would have died. Backing up here, you would have died from that D.Va. And also, Soldier, he got rezzed, so now he can pressure you up here. So it's going to force you to have to walk all the way back down, around, take some time out of the fight to get back down to main. So it's not like too bad that you went up here, but it was a mistake because had that diva noticed, you would have been killed. Winston also died. Go up Griffins. Go up Steve. Might work big flank on the left. Me personally, I don't really like to go for the flanks on the left. So like over this way. Problem with this is if you try and flank this way, their Mercy and their Soldier were holding here first. So unless you're crouch walking, that soldier's gonna hear you coming. So you're gonna lose the element of surprise. Now if you crouch walk, you might still get the surprise on him. But it'll take you so much longer to get over there. That in higher ranks, when you go a certain amount of time without seeing a specific player, you know they're flanking. So then you start to think, okay, where could they be coming from? Well, they're going to be coming from where the other players aren't. Where aren't those other players? Right here. So in the higher ranks, they will sniff out your flank very quickly, which means you have to flank quickly, which means you can't really afford to crouch through this way. But it's situational because the timing is very there's a very limited time window and you might be able to hit it. But also flanking over this left side, since Soldier and Mercy are here, the Soldier's pocketed, and any damage you do is just going to be healed unless you get a quick one tap on the Soldier. But it's just going on this long left flank is just not worth the risk unless everyone is holding. If you can confirm everyone is holding this top section over here, then yeah, you can do that. But also, if everyone's holding this top section over here, why not do the spam that I mentioned from down here? So there's like this left flank really isn't that good. The bottom flank is a bit better, because Numbani can be very hard to break first, especially if they're running Hanzo with a pocketed Ashe. Breaking this top section is very fucking hard, which is why spamming down below over here can be very valuable because you're often hidden from the Hanzo and the Ashe. And so if you're running like Winston and a Genji, have the Winston Genji dive top while you're down main spamming up here. You're gonna get some kills with that. But anyway, bottom flank really only useful if you're running a tank like Reinhardt. This bottom flank, Ryan can just sit here with his shield while everyone is up top here spamming, and it forces somebody to come down to contest. But Ryan can use this to hide, he can come back in here, everything, and you can also come up around back, fight them up there on the high ground themselves. But given that it's Numbani first, the defense team will likely be running characters that can just jump ship to the other high ground. So it's very hard to utilize these two flanks over here effectively, which is why typically everyone goes down main. Which is why it's called main. What's really big in games like this as well is you never want a specific player to go uncontested. And right now their Soldier's going uncontested. It's causing a headache for your tank to try and dive whatever target he wants to dive, and their Soldier's just free firing on the tank, doing a lot of damage. It's really hard to play an attack here, and you choose to play with your tank more. Attack on this map is tricky because of how it's because of how the defense is structured. It's heavily defense favored. I think your tank is also a little bit confused. It seems like they're not sure what they want to do. Because right now their diva, your diva is attempting to kill a pocketed soldier by herself. That's not how you do this. I think switching off of Winston was actually a misplay here. What you're really in need of is remember the VOD review we had the other day? Talking about how simply by being present with your tank gives your team confidence, your tank confidence, and it puts more pressure on the enemy team. Right now, the enemy team has so much confidence because your team is huddled all down main right here, and your diva is in the backline by herself, and their diva is preventing all four of you from doing anything else. You're not together right now. That's one of the big issues. This isn't necessarily about how you're playing. It's about how your team is playing right now. In this instance, what you want to do as Junkrat is look at this Ana free firing over here. I mean, this Ana's a big one. You need to go down here, right? This corner, and fire up here. You kill their Ana, it's infinitely easier to push this point. Plus, it also shakes the enemy team's confidence a little bit, and it boosts your team's confidence. And having those confidence levels shift is very important. Because as Junkrat attacking this point, not really going to be able to do much to Diva since she has Defense Matrix and she'll eat your ass. Tracer, she's going to be skipping all over the place, so it's going to be hard to even shoot her. Mercy will likely be standing way in the back, so you're probably not going to be able to contest Mercy that well. Soldier's really the only one you'll be able to contest, except he's being pocketed by Mercy. So you're not going to get much anywhere with that. You're really the only option is to just hit this Ana in the back right here that's by herself. And also, don't know why your diva is not doing that. Because if your diva comes over here, just dives this Ana way back in here, Ana's back in here by herself. Now, their Tracer and their diva might come to the rescue to save Ana. Mercy will be shortly flying in, but guess what? Then their soldier's by himself. That's when you jump up top, contest the soldier, Baptiste uses his boots, jumps to the high ground, helps you, soldier's dead. All because diva dove one person, their soldier dies. And what's even better, their Mercy might not make it in time, so Ana dies too. So Ana's dead, soldier's dead, Mercy already used res, I think. And now people are going to be like their team's already 2 down. And that is ignoring the fact that you could potentially be shooting at the Ana from down here. So your diva is also a little bit. Your diva doesn't really know what to do here. Nice. Not nice. Okay. Diva comes out of mech. You hear nerf this. What you want to do is you go this way. Because you still have time. You have plenty of time to go this way. Also, there's an immortality field there, by the way, which it sometimes is hard to notice when you're playing. So I don't really blame you for not knowing that it was there. But it's one of those things where, I mean, I've fallen victim to it too. There's been times where Diva sends her ult in, And then everyone's like, oh shit, gotta hide. A lot of times, people choose to go the wrong direction. And I'm not exactly sure what the reason is. Because thinking about when I do that myself, it's simply because I didn't know that the other direction would have been better. So try and be more aware of the best path to take to get away from a diva bomb, and if, you know, there's an immortality field down. Brain said to hide inside and kill the mechless diva. So the thing with that is, look at this corner. You're not going to dodge self-destruct by going in here. You will die if you attempt to dodge self-destruct by going in here. Even if you stand here, that self-destruct's still going to get you. So retreating into this room, like, even if I didn't know the immortality field was there, I would not have retreated inside this room because of where the self-destruct is. You're not living in there. So, as much as you want to try and kill Diva, I mean, you still have one mine available. Like, you have a mine now. I want to see how your Ana died. The immortality field die before the self-destruct?
Nerf this.
Okay. Your Ana's also not thinking either. Ana had more than enough time to simply back up and just go behind the bus. See, that's the thing. So many people just choose the wrong way to go, and I don't know why. Like, they're just not thinking. That's what it comes down to. Your Ana just does not think, because she's literally in the immortality field right now, and she chose to go this way. Did the immortality field just expire? Or does the self-destruct doesn't kill it? It's not in the feed. So the immortality field just expires. Baptiste was the only smart one there. Yeah, I don't know what your Ana was doing. That was just dumb. But yeah, this room will not save you from that self-destruct. That was actually a good opening, killing the Tracer, demeching Diva. See, the thing is, if you had gone around the outside to dodge a self-destruct, you could have placed a trap right in this doorway over here. And then when Diva remechs and tries to fly out to get away, she's trapped. And then you can just demech her again. Nice.
Let them up.
This VOD only has 7 minutes left. You guys must have got rolled. 8 minutes left. Did you lose? Yeah, you did? Okay. I will say, Tig, You are playing so much better than you played in the last VOD I reviewed of you. Haven't had enough. There'll be a bruh moment in a bit. Alright, let's see what it is. Alright. I think okay, so here's a problem.
My ultimate is almost ready.
Okay, so two things. First thing is I would have gotten my rip tire first before jumping up here. Second thing is, if I didn't, as soon as I'm up here for 3-4 seconds and I don't have my ult still, I'm dropping down to go get it. You are up here for too long doing too much nothing. In Overwatch, you never want to be doing nothing. If there is... I mean, I basically already said it. If there's a period of time where too much nothing is happening, you are doing something wrong. This right here is wrong. Because you want a tire from up here, and you're waiting for your ult. This last 3% can take forever just waiting for it. You need to go down there and get it. And when you go down there... So, as soon as you realize your ultimate's not charging fast enough by sitting up here, like, that's when you drop down and you go get it. But, see, the problem is, if you're already up here and you have to drop to go get it, it might already be too late to use it by the time you get it. Which is why I probably instinctively would have stayed down here, got my ult, then jumped up top. And once that happens, guess what I'm doing? I'm going in here, deploying my tire, driving it out this window, bam, double kill. Maybe triple. Instant second point cap. Yo, what up, Vexy? Is that the bruh moment because you jumped? Okay, pause. Let me explain. Alright, let's hear why you jumped. VOD? Yeah, we're doing a VOD review. Also, Shadow, I uploaded your VOD review onto YouTube today. You rest your thumb on the space bar. Well, see, there's the problem. You're already using the wrong control scheme. Use the number pad. Your space button is really sensitive. Okay, so you accidentally jumped? Yeah? Okay.
I am indefatigable.
You guys probably failed this push then. Yeah, I hate to say it, Tig, but this play right here really, like, there are many factors in a game that can determine whether or not you win or lose. This mistake right here set your team on the path to losing. Now, were you the sole reason your team lost? No. But this misplay right here basically just further hammered home the potential to lose. The stuff that happened on first, so you guys, it took you guys a while to capture first. I don't remember what time, how much time you had left before you capped. You didn't know about that angle, things like that, but you know, that there wasn't really too much misplay over there. Over here, yeah. This one play, he kind of cemented you guys losing. Now we haven't seen your defense yet. So, you know, maybe your tank fucked up on defense. Maybe you were actually gonna full hold and your tank fucked up, or you didn't get healed, or something else happened. But this was very bad. And again, the way to fix this is you need to make sure that you're not doing too much nothing for too long. And too much nothing was taking place up here. And you want to get your ultimate before jumping up here. You've been trying to break the jump habit? Well, he didn't jump there out of bad habit. He jumped because he accidentally pressed the spacebar. And there's nothing wrong with jumping in most scenarios. Sometimes it can be bad, but that doesn't mean you need to break the jump habit. It just means you need to stop jumping for that instance. For that moment. Your tank is very bad. Your tank is the reason it took so long to cap first. And your tank is also heavily contributing to you losing right now. Your tank is bad. They focus too much on targets they can't kill. And they put themselves in a position where the rest of their team cannot back them up. Masters 4. See, that's the thing. It's too easy to get too high of a rank. This player does not deserve Masters. Maybe they were just having an off game, but when players have an off game, typically they still will play at their level. It's just they fail the execution in the strats that they're doing. This guy is not failing the execution. This guy is just completely failing to be a Masters player. Like, he goes where he cannot be backed up, and he targets players he cannot kill. That is not what a Masters player who's having an off game does. That is what a Platinum player does. This guy, I don't know what he's thinking. Your tank is pretty terrible. And it maybe, you know, if a tank player, like let's say someone that constantly plays Winston is used to a Tracer following them around and backing up on those kills, maybe a Genji goes with them as well. Suddenly, if you take that Genji and that Tracer out, that Winston is still going to instinctively do the same thing, but then he's going to get heavily punished for it. He's not going to know why. He might know why, but it might, they might not. A big thing in the higher levels of this game is how players adapt to what is happening. So if that Winston player doesn't adapt to not having a Tracer or a Genji on their team, then they're going to keep throwing themselves into the enemy team and just keep dying. And they're either not going to know why, or they are going to know why, but they're just going to do it anyway and hope that it still works. Because maybe that's the only way they know how to play. And I feel like your tank, if they're not boosted, might have that same sort of mindset. Like, they might be sitting there thinking, oh, I do this every game and it typically works out. Why isn't it working this game? So it's possible that that's what they're thinking, but honestly, they're just kind of bad. And also, why did I get a notification from, like, Blizzard or Authenticator? Oh. It's just telling me the Authenticator has a new home. Even with a bad tank, you can try and enable them. It gives them a little more leeway to fail. I mean, you can always, like, if for instance in this game, like, you sat back and you noticed, like, hey, my diva keeps going in by herself and dying. Why is she dying? Then you can look, okay, well, the soldier is just unloading into her. He's pocketed by Mercy. Our support doesn't have the angle to heal them. It's like, okay, next time diva goes in, maybe you can punish the soldier that's shooting the diva for free. Or maybe you can tell your support, hey, support, come stand down here, so when diva goes up there, you can heal her. You can do things like that to, like, to mitigate what's happening to your diva, but it won't solve the problem. The problem right now is with diva. Yeah, like, you can do things to enable the diva to play the way she's playing, but the way she's playing is bad. And so if you change how you play to let that bad player win, one, it might not even work. So you could still try all those things and it still fails. But two, then you just enabled a bad player, and that bad player then wins the game thinking they did something right. So you don't necessarily want to enable bad players. Their diva, honestly, should be swapping. I don't think diva's the play here. I think Winston would be better. Hell, maybe even Zarya. But the way that they're, like, the way that they're playing diva into this matchup is not good. Like, at this point, just swap diva. Enable bad player win for the sake of your SR and avoid and go next. Well, see, Shadow, the thing is, like I said, you still might lose. If you enable the bad player, you still might lose. When you try to win these games, you need to solve the problems and not treat the symptoms. Because if you keep treating symptoms, the problem is still there. And one of these team fights, you might not be able to treat the symptom anymore. So you just end up losing anyway. Pretty sure the Genji saw you place that. But also, slight problem.
This'll tickle their feet.
You placed your trap there, and then you walked to the left. If you want to try to bait Genji into your trap, you need to keep walking straight backwards. You walked to the left. So if he dashes above the trap. But if he dashes directly to you, he's not going to get trapped because you went to the left of it.
10 seconds remaining.
You just panicked? Panic is the source of all issue, isn't it?
Ready. Ready for battle.
Focus on training. You waste your time playing games.
Why don't you give them a try? Maybe then you'd frown less.
I think you need to. I think if you're panicking like that, you need to. Well, one, you need to not panic. But two, I don't. From my point of view, it doesn't make sense to panic like that. Because if you throw your trap down, because you're like, ah shit, like you had the idea of trapping the Genji, but then you just like you said, you panicked and then you just dropped that whole plan entirely. If you make a move in the hopes of acquiring a certain outcome, don't then immediately prevent that outcome from happening by negating the move that you just made. So I don't understand plays like that because it doesn't make sense. So stop panicking.
I want to push the
5,
button.
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers in.
I will typically hold top right. So I will typically hold up here because one, you're sheltered from down there. Two, you can bounce nades off of this wall to go around here. Three, a lot of people climb up this wall and go here, so you can contest them easily. You're also very visible to your healers, which typically stand over here. Another one is people will try and push this top hallway, and if you and since you're standing here, that completely shuts that down. I remember I had a game on this map where there was a soldier that was just absolutely relentless at trying to push this top section. Like I killed this guy like 3 or 4 times he was attempting to push this, and I killed him 3 or 4 times. He continued to do that. Some people are very adamant about where they want to go, and they'll keep trying to go that way. You need to. I hold here because it prevents the enemy team from doing so many different things. If you get dived, do you drop back into that hallway, into the top hallway? Well, see, I was about to mention that. I hold here unless I get heavily pressured out of it, which basically means a diva dives up here, and you have more than 2 people pushing this hallway. If you notice you're taking so much damage up here, you can typically gauge whether or not it's a good idea to continue standing here. So it's one of those things where you just kind of have to see how it goes. But you should be okay. You should be able to tell whether or not you can get away with continuously standing here before you actually die. And then, if it is too dangerous to stay here, what you can do is you can use a mine to jump to the other side, puts you in a brief bit of danger, or you can fall back, drop down, go get the Mega if you need to. You can move back here, play here, and then you can play, you can move back that way. The reason why you want to hold this top section though, is because once they get out here, it's like that during the last VOD review I mentioned like Nepal village. If you're trying to push out on top on village, you will be very intimidated when you see 5 people come out that top section versus just the enemy tank. This little hallway is like that same section. So if you give this area for free to them, all 5 people are going to come pushing out. And then you're going to get shot at by all 5 people. And then it's like, oh shit, there's so many people that just pushed out this top section. Holy shit, we need to fall back. And then it's like the confidence pressure thing again. So by you simply holding here, it prevents that whole scenario from even taking place. And if they all decide to push top with D.Va, well then you just back up and you jump to the other side. So, giving this section up for free is a bad idea. Also, you can drop briefly here because you're protected by this car. So if someone's camping the bus and shooting the top section, well, you're briefly protected. You might get pinged. They might see you drop. They might hear you drop. But you can drop down briefly to get healed, and then you just go back up again. Because chances are, if D.Va pushes out, matrixes you, forces you to drop, she's going to stand briefly here for a moment, but then she's going to take a lot of incoming fire from the other side. Her defense matrix is going to start being used up. Then when she sees you jump back up, and she's out of defense matrix, she's going to go, oh shit, and she's going to drop back into this hallway. Even if her team is behind her. Now, thing is, though, if D.Va pushes out and her team has already pushed out with her, that's probably not going to happen. You're probably going to die in that scenario. But a lot of people are afraid to immediately push out because they're getting shot. Even if they're taking like 10 damage, they're still getting the feedback from the game that they're getting shot. So they back up and they cower. Confidence is a big thing in this game. And it can lead to a team pushing someplace and versus a team not pushing someplace. So you really gotta be in tune with that.
I want to push the
5,
button.
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Also, if you're holding top right and you can hear soldier pitter-patter underneath you, all you need to do is just drop from the high ground and hit him with a combo and he's dead. Or if you miss the combo, he's just... It's free cam it. If you're standing here, you hear soldier underneath you, all you do is drop. You start shooting at him. And then the soldier runs and goes takes the Mega. He might try and contest you here, but you've got line of sight to your Ana, so Ana's healing you. That soldier sees that, so he's afraid. He realizes he's not going to win this war in a tiny hallway versus Junkrat. So their soldier, he's either going to continuously camp here, or he's going to run back and go down main, or go up top. When he runs back, that's when you can go up top. And then you just wait and listen to see if he tries to go bottom again. Unpopular opinion, Pharah is a better Junkrat. Hanzo's a better Junkrat. You're doing a good job at throwing the concussion mines above Genji's reflect hitbox, by the way. This is another reason to hold top. Because after that soldier died, now he's trying top. And if you're up there, guess where he's not going to push? Or guess where you're going to get another free kill? I like that you went up there, though, to go contest him. Now it sounds like he's taken... So this man's trying every flank. So another thing here is this is just an example of where you're not thinking. Like, you had time to do it. You didn't think. And I've been there before, but it's something you need to work on. You know what you also could have done as well? This is a bit more difficult because you can't quite tell. Guess what you do? You have 2 concussion mines at your disposal. 1. You 180, put a mine on the ground, go up, go into this hallway. Reason why you do that, and this is why it's harder to tell. Because you can't quite tell if D.Va's mech is going to land up here or go past it. But D.Va's mech fell slightly below the high ground. So if you make it up there and behind the wall, you're safe. Also, this is another option as well. Get behind this wall. Also, last option, well, the obvious option, just crouch behind the payload. Last option is you have 2 concussion mines. Use both of them to jump this way. You had 1, 2, 3, 4 options where you live, and you chose none of them because your brain just shut off. Yeah, it's just you weren't thinking, and it happens. Like I said, it's happened to me, so I'm not gonna fault you too much for that, but it is something you need to work on.
Take cover. Stay near the mortality field.
Engaging thrusters.
Helden sterben nicht.
Your D.Va is once again going for players she can't kill. Genji's being pocketed. You need to leave now. Okay, let's talk about that because you got lucky as shit there. Okay, first thing. You see Genji coming, not too big of an issue. Second thing, you see Mercy around the corner. You see Mercy healing Genji. Now you go, oh shit, gotta leave. You have 2 mines, use them both if you have to, but get out of there. You contested this Genji too long. He should have killed you. Nah, I'm just that guy. You got so lucky here. It's not really a bad thing, even if you died, because like they just capped. You'll make it back for the next fight doesn't really matter too much. However, in an overtime situation, it would matter. In a situation where the payload is like, let's say the victory spot for the payload is where their Ana is standing, then it would have mattered. But like as it is right here, it doesn't really matter if you died here. But this was a lucky ass double kill. You should not have lived. You did, and it was great that you got the 2 kills that you did. Should have been punished for it. So next time, run away.
Let them all move.
That Ana should have killed you there. You've got 2 mines. Use them to get out of there.
Don't tell anyone.
Activating self-destruct sequence.
Misplay here as well. This is what you do. You hear that nano go off? Line up against this wall, use your tire, go kill something with it. You also jumped to the wrong spot. What you should have done was taken more care to where you were retreating to. Because might be easier to see in hindsight, but look where the payload is. If you jump here, you are way more exposed versus if you jump over here or back here. D.Va came at you and it looks like you panicked again. Also keep in mind, you don't need to turn around to jump away.
I'm going back in. Fire in the hole.
Okay. So, overall, you had a few minor misplays. You had 1 moderate misplay, and you had 2 major misplays. Major misplay is when you were attacking second and you waited up on the high ground for your ultimate. First major misplay. Second major misplay, you were defending first point and you died to the D.Va self-destruct. Those 2 misplays just hammered home your team losing the game. The moderate misplay was right here. You should have deployed your tire. There was too much, like I mentioned earlier, there was too much nothing going on from your perspective, and you needed to stop that. You needed to make something happen. You should have deployed your tire and killed someone with it. And then as for the minor misplays, it was just the things attacking first point. Nothing too bad. Other than that, your tank was pretty awful. Had you not made those misplays, you might have actually won the game, especially attacking second point with your tire. You might have been able to win the game if that had played correctly, played out ideally. So your gameplay has definitely improved since I last reviewed your other VOD, but I think the misplays you made this game are definitely very easily correctable. Overall theme is don't panic and don't let too much nothing happen for too long. So, damn, you still play Junkrat? Love it. Yo, what up, Nariella? I do. Who else am I gonna play? Map knowledge is strong. Pretty YOLO play. Map knowledge is very important as well. Wasn't expecting the nano. Oh, you were expecting the nano blade there, but they didn't. Ah, okay. So you were holding onto tire because of nano blade, so you could cancel nano blade. Okay, I understand that. Makes sense. Okay, then in that, okay, so if you're holding tire for nano blade, then in that situation, what you want to do, the reason I told you to use your tire here, and I think I mentioned it at the time, it just goes back to too much nothing happening. So if you're holding onto tire to cancel nano blade, then you need to make something else happen by doing something. Where you were, there was just too much nothing. So, fix that. Fix the too much nothing happening. But anyway, that'll be about it for this VOD. Nothing, the only thing horrendously wrong was just knowing how to dodge Diva Bomb and too much nothing. But your gameplay has massively improved since I watched you last time, so good work with that.